Oh crap, I guess I'm live now. Okay, so I had no intention of doing this. I really didn't. But there was like a vacuum. I felt like there was a vacuum because mic wasn't on. I actually set my phone because I had eaten and mic usually goes on, night train usually goes on at 7 o'clock. So I actually set an alarm for 7:30. I had eaten and I figured I would take a nap. But that didn't happen. Hey Stingray, Steve Mack, Drone Days, hey buddy. TJ. I keep wanting to say Teej because that's just what it looks like the way you have it spelled. So anyway, I just felt like going on. Today was tough. Hey Jim, how are you, brother? Um, I just had to do it. So if anybody wants to come on, you're welcome to do so. But it's funny because y'all, most of you know what I've been going through, and uh, so today I actually did a kind of service call. And it's funny because all my tools are in the work truck that my boss came and took. I mean, I told him to do that. But all my tools are in there, so I have limited tools here at the house. But a friend of mine, someone I've known for years, I mean, for probably 40 years, Heather, I'll say her first name. She, I don't know her last name actually, but doesn't matter. Anyway, she had a tankless water heater that quit working. So she asked me for a couple days, and I just wasn't up to it or whatever. But so today I was prepared, and well, as prepared as I could be because I don't have my bloody tools. I don't have my fancy ass meter. I don't have any of my screwdrivers. So I rounded up a couple things and a cheap ass Harbor Freight meter that had been given to me for free because I bought something else a couple years ago. When I turned it on, I couldn't believe it worked. Jim, you probably seen them. What the hell is the name of them? Back in the day, they were considered a very fancy and accurate meter, but they were completely analog. Had the little needle that went back and forth and the scale with all the numbers on them. You just had to pick the right scale for the scale you were in. Yeah, Harbor Freight is pretty badass, Jim. As shitty as their tools is, they're not shitty. They're just not meant for commercial use. But then a lot of those tools are branded. I have a few people that swear by them. They say, dude, half of what you pay for is the freaking name. Syntec. It is a Syntec, Green Frog. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate that. It is a Syntec. Anyway, so I first made my trip to Walmart because the birds were screaming. See, I have 3 cockatiels that are still alive in an outside aviary, and I'll feed them. And then they don't care about me anymore until they run out of feed. And then when they run out of feed, they will scream at me when I come outside. They'll let me know, hey, I'm hungry. That's what they do. So they've been doing that for a couple of days. So today I forced myself. I went to Walmart and I picked up some birdseed, bought some beer and some cigarettes. And then I came back and Heather, the one who's hot, Insta hot gas here, I was supposed to look at, she was supposed to be home at 11. Well, around 12 o'clock, she said, I'll be home in out 30 minutes. So I'm like, I don't have my tools. Hey, Allie, how are you? Yeah, I got a lot of cats hanging around. Anyway, so then I'm like, shit, man, I gotta scrounge up some tools. So I grabbed the big old box mirror, and then I was like, I gotta have a screwdriver or two. And so I looked around, I found one where you could change the tips out, but I couldn't find any damn tips. I came up with a flathead and a Phillips and a pair of climbs and the Syntec voltmeter. So I go to her house and tested the voltage coming in. It had voltage coming in. Tested the fuses. Tested the voltage out input into the power supply. I'm like, I can smell it. That power supply is gone. But you kept telling me, well, I'll put the cover back on, whatever. Dude, I was like trembling. My fingers are numb. I mean, I've been an electrician for, let's see, how old am I? 40 years. 4 years I've been doing electrical work. But when your fingers are numb, you can't feel. I mean, I can feel them kind of, but they feel weird. You just can't do precision shit worth of crap. Now, I talked to somebody the other day that said I should teach. He was trying to give me a positive spin on life. He was like, dude, you have so much knowledge. You're a great electrician. And with the knowledge you have, you shouldn't have to be doing manual work. But I was working for a small company, and that's just what I have. Jackrabbit, I have flown twice since this happened. And I can still fly. But I just haven't felt like it, dude. I'm definitely not as smooth, but part of that could have been from rust, as they say. From not flying every other day. Hey, Jeff Freestyle, how are you? No, I know you're still kicking it. Jeff, I feel like such a whiny bastard just because I got some numbness and weakness. And you need a freaking wheelchair. I mean, as far as flying goes, you make a real effort towards that. But you wouldn't do well as an electrician. I'm just telling you. And that's what I know. I know being an electrician, I was a damn good one. Many people would say that. And I can't do that work. What am I supposed to do? Go work at the fucking kangaroo. Excuse my language. I can't even stand up for more than 20 minutes and I'm tired, you know? So, yeah, she is a tiger. And see, I mean, Allie's another one. Allie has her issues too, and physically. But she's a brain girl. And I don't know what the hell Jeff does, but it doesn't matter. Everything I know how to do is physical. Not that I haven't done my share of technical stuff. I can. But working for a small company, it needs to be all hands on deck and ready to do whatever. So I don't blame my boss. He runs a small company. And before all this happened, I didn't care because for a while he had enough personnel to where I could just be the technical advisor. You need to do this, you need to do that, and whatever. But when we became short-handed, that was no longer an option. The gun repair is cool. But see, I don't know how to do that, Jeff. Um, I know you. I know you do the gun repair thing now that I think back on it. Yeah, I know, Allie. You've explained your many issues before. But see, you're like a computer chick. I mean, if your fingers still work, you can still type and all that. And thank goodness I can still type. It feels weird to type because of my fingers being numb. I make a lot more typos now, but no, I'm just telling you, man, it's weird. It's really weird, and I'm not used. I'm not used to being like this. I don't like it. Now that's true, TJ. There's no doubt about that. We all have our issues. And I'll tell you this, TJ. Now you're a young fella, so just bear in mind the older you get, the tougher the issues get, or they're magnified. I like to say something about the screen that I have up. There's a scroll up top, and there are pictures around, and all of them, most of them, if not all of them, I think this screen is from when I went to the so many called it the South Florida meetup. No, it was actually the Central Florida meetup. But these were all people that I met. Each and every one of these people that are on the screen and in the scroll above are people that were at that drone meetup where I froze my butt off and was uncomfortable for most of the time. But I would like to shout out a few people. Um, Carlos, Mike, Night Train. Mike, Night Train, had driven 20 some hours from Michigan already, but he stopped by St. Augustine to pick my ass up and carry me on down. Where we met up with during worship at a rust stop. We tried to get a few hours sleep there. And then we went to the drone meetup the next day, Friday morning. So it was awesome. And then well, hey, there's Maddie. I met Maddie. I didn't meet Maddie until Saturday. You weren't there on Friday, were you, Maddie? But I know I met you on Saturday. And it was awesome. I, and I've always made fun of camera bird people just because I didn't have a nice camera bird was probably part of it, but um, they don't know how to really fly, blah blah and blah blah. It's a GPS drone, blah blah and blah blah. So anyway, it was really on Saturday when we went to the place on it was some causeway across the Indian River, and I saw these DJI guys putting their birds up, and I mean it was blowing like a bat out of hell. And if any of you all have seen any of those videos, you know it was. And it was blowing like crazy. I would have never dared fly my FPV bird in that, even though I didn't have any powerful birds there at that time. But those DJI birds, man, they didn't even sneeze at it. They were just fine. I saw great footage from them and all that. It was awesome. So I was really impressed with that. But the best part about it was meeting the people. And there were people that showed me love that didn't know me from Adam. You know what I mean? How are you, Birdman? I don't know if I said hello to you. But I couldn't believe it. I mean, people that didn't know me for shit. I knew Rodney Bell. I didn't know Matt for nothing. And both of them contributed to my cause. Thank you very much. So, Matt had gotten a couple auto tickets that he spent money on and gave him an equal return, but instead, he just gave them to me. And Rodney Bell slipped me a dollar. I think it was my eyeglasses. I had a pair of eyeglasses that were all busted up, but they worked the best for me, you know. And then I found these. These are kind of broken too, but they're just for reading. I wear them on my nose all the time. Half the time I don't even look at them, but I'm looking through them now, so I can see what's going on. But dude, hey Maddie, that's cool. You got the big birds coming, And what's funny is you say that. In some ways, the bigger birds are easier to fly. They just you can throw them better. They have better weight and stuff like that, and maybe he'll have them tuned up good for you. I've gotten I've gotten a 5-inch bird from one person, and he said he had tuned it for me. I had to readjust it, but um, I don't know. It hey Maddie, you got a freestyle, don't you? You have freestyle too. What does that mean, a Bengal cat? What, you're going to return both of them, Maddie? Why? Why would you do that? The Freestyle 2 is actually currently the only working bird that I have. The other ones just have little issues here and there that I need to work on. But it's a very fun bird. Why don't you tune it yourself? Why don't you just do it to factory defaults? Because you can do that. And then play with the rates. So, what do you mean a retune? So, you've already flown them and you couldn't fly them worth a shit? Oh, and yeah, Birdman, I've seen your freestyle, some of your freestyle one flights, and they're nice. The biggest problem with the freestyle, it's only got 25 milliwatt BTX. That's the big problem with the freestyle one, is it's only got 25 milliwatt, and that blows. That blows, man. The freestyle is a very fun bird, no doubt. No, I get you, Allie. I love my cats. They're annoying as hell at times, but that's only because I've spoiled them. No, I mean, I think Birdman. I think they're the same motors. It's not the same frame. The frame is a little bit different, but the weight is the same. And that's always been the issue with the Freestyle One is the BTX power. It's only 25 milliwatts. Now, what's funny with that, the Mobula 7 was supposed to only be 25 milliwatts too. And I never had a Freestyle one, so I can't relate really. But the Mobi 7 was only supposed to be 50 milliwatts. And I've flown birds that were 200 milliwatts, and its reception was just as good. So I don't know how accurate the transmission power is on birds. Oh, trust me, Allie. So you might have some lovey-dovey cat, but Alfred is a prick. Okay? He's a lovable prick, yes. I love him. And but he's annoying as shit at times. So I'm just saying. But he's a male cat. Your cat's probably a female. So what's the Novice 2? I don't know what the Novice 2 is, Birdman. I hate reading StreamYard chat for some reason. If your cat, why no, but just because you love them doesn't mean they can't still be freaking annoying, Allie. Hey, Mr. Crowley, how are you? Mr. Crowley and his drone. Yeah, it has been years. I'm just hanging. Night train wasn't on. Prick. I know, isn't it? Isn't it fun to kind of piss off the cat, Birdman? I'll tell you something about Alfred. He's sitting over here right here. He's wanting some more wet food. But he got some big ass claws on him. I try and wear long pants most of the time, even though I'm in Florida and long pants are hot. But this prick, he wants to lay in my lap at times, and I'll wind up with these big long scratches across my legs and stuff. Now you still flying an I-6 and Birdman, get that radio behind you. Do not know how irritating that is to so many people. He does love me, Allie. He loves me for the wet food I give him. I think he loves me more for that than anything. That's how cats. Oh no, he's stirring now. We might get a glimpse of him. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of Alfredo Montero. What are you doing, Alfred? Come here. You don't want to move on command. You're just going to blink your eyes at me. You're such a prick. What does normal mean, Birdman? I've been flying normal for the past several vids. Okay, I've caught a. All right, that's cool, Bird. I'm glad to hear that. I really am. Because I was always concerned that some person that might be interested in learning how to fly a drone, I was worried that you flying around with your radio behind your back was going to like turn them on and turn them off, I should say. Wait a minute, I gotta do that. I gotta have a radio behind my back. What the hell? Every time you upload a playlist, Birdman, um, when you go through the editing, when you add your descriptions and stuff like that, there's a place for playlist. And you just click on that. And if you don't have a playlist, you just make a name for it. So I have playlists for all of my birds. I have playlists for videos that I think are funny. I have playlists for videos that I think are instructional. Okay. And you can have videos on a playlist that are not yours. So, like, it just gives them watch time, which is cool. So, for instance, like the instructional ones, things that I've had issues with, and I found an answer on YouTube, whether it be a Joshua Bardwell video or just someone we know in the local community, um, I'll put that on in instructional videos. And you, Birdman, you can actually absolutely do that. And some of those cheap Action Cam things do pretty good. Yeah, Matty can help you out with that. There you go. So, I mean, and that's what this community is all about, helping each other out. You know what I mean? You got a little issue here, you got a little issue there, you got mental conflict like Allie French has. That was meant to be a joke, Allie. Um, hey, Mr. John, how are you? Hey, brother. I don't know how delayed the screen. Oh, the cat. Here's the cat, Allie. Allie. This is Alfredo. Alfredo Montero. He now wants to lay in my lap. Ha! Eugene. Thanks for coming in, dearest Allie. That's pretty cool. I've been really lazy. I haven't even pulled up YouTube chat. He is beautiful. Yeah, I know, Buddy Cat. He is beautiful, gorgeous. I don't know about the cute part, but I love him. Um, it's weird because Alfred, I had other cats. First of all, I've never gotten a cat ever on purpose. They just showed up. Somehow they saw me for a bleeding heart or something, but they just said, "Hey, feed me, Seymour." And so I did. What the hell? And they hung around. So like Alfred here, now laying on my lap. He there was another cat before him. And he kept trying to come into the house and I kept telling him, "You're not number one cat. You're not allowed yet." So one cat died after I ran over him. I shouldn't have said that. But anyway. And then another cat became number one. Alfred did not rise in his hierarchy. So after the next cat died, I told Alfred, I said, "Finally, you're number one cat." And he became number one cat. So he is my number one cat. But I didn't pick any of these cats. They picked my ass. What are you going to do? Oh, that'd be cool, Al. You should do that. See, Ginger, you call that a ginger? What makes it a ginger? Ginger. I mean, I guess it's because it's got the orange in him, but somebody else told me it was a tabby cat. And I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. Yeah, he's got orange in me. Okay, so first of all, Alfred has no balls. Okay. Yeah, one of the other stray cats around here that I feed um, had kittens, four beautiful kittens, and they all look different. Um, but one looked like Alfred. I swear it looked like Alfred. It's like, wait a minute, Alfred, did you help knock that cat up? Wait a minute, you've got no balls. How could you have done that? Either that or just shrunken and he took some Viagra or something. I don't know. But it looks just like Alfred. Ginger, as you would say, Allie. So it's a ginger kitten. I'm going to send him to you. I wonder if I'll put him in cold storage if you'll make it. Hey, the Watcher. How are you? I've never seen you on my channel before, the Watcher. You must be really bored if you're watching me. I'm just chatting with some friends. She is a real cat person, Bob. An orange ginger mix. They are rare, are they? So you think I can get Alfred is not for sale. Ah, so I have you blue? I don't know. I'm not even looking at the YouTube chat. Otherwise, I would have already modded you, but. Allie, I was talking to Bob and Mr. Crowley about this earlier, but my family, I guess it's genetic. I don't know. We're animal lovers. We've rescued so many birds, that fell out of nests and fed them and nurtured them back to health and basically were their mother and cats and stray dogs and all kinds of shit. Cause I think that's horrible. The biggest problem I have is, man, I got a growing cat population going outside because I don't have the money to fix their little asses, so they just keep breeding and multiplying like freaking rats. Dano, how are you? Hey, Dano. Well, I'm feeling better now since I'm a few beers into the wind. I got my cat propped up on my knee, right here. He's having a good time, enjoying being with you fellas. It sucks I not sure how to go about that. I've done it before. So, are you wearing tin foil on your head, Albie Drone, Dano, so you can get a signal where you're at, or what? That place where you do the summer vacations looks really cool. I noticed the catamaran was gone. I didn't see the catamaran. The watcher. Allie is kind of hard to peg, but I've always liked her. We've had many long conversations before over on Rolling Stream or on Earthy Dude Stream. Who gave you the stank eye, Watcher? I hate StreamYard chat. I don't know why. I got to pull up the other chat. I'm not even live yet. Oh, there it is. Let me pull that up. I'm probably going to have to mute it again. Pull 11 in there. So that's not bad. That's about my average, actually. Pop out the chat. Come back to the other screen. See, I can never. No, I got it. You want to come in, Bob? Anybody wants to come in? Send me a just say so. I'll put the link up. I can put the link up. I'll put the link up. What the? I don't care. Let's do this. Well, you know what that means, Jackrabbit? If you've been crashing drones today, that means you've been flying, which is more than I can say for what I've done. I have not. I did not fly today. I was supposed to fly today, and I did not. Mr. Crowley, I had a conversation with Mr. Crowley, and he was telling me charge some batteries and fly today. I haven't flown since August the 10th. August the 10th. That's like over 2 months ago. And no, I don't get the Sparky notifications either, Dan. I have to be told about them. Look, there are many definitions to a crash, okay? Fortunately, most of my crashes are what I tend to call unintentional landings. Because I hit a tree branch, a bird went down, whatever. But if you don't break anything, it's technically not a crash. I think for it to qualify as a crash, you have to break something or to fix something. Otherwise, it's just a rough freaking landing, okay? I've seen my share of crashes, and a crash is definitely a crash. When you see parts flying, a GoPro tumbling across the ground, that's the crash, okay? Drone day video. All right, well, Jackrabbit, that qualifies as a crash. That definitely qualifies as a crash. Okay, when you break stuff, that's a crash. Okay. But I have 4 more crashes that result in no damage at all. It just means I caught some tall grass or whatever and spins down into the grass and don't break anything. I go out and get it, put in some fresh batteries, and it's just fine. Sometimes, hey, yeah, Birdman. Sometimes the crashes come out pretty cool. You get some pretty good pay out of some of the crashes, actually. I hate it when these people edit their videos so they take out the crashes. I mean, crashes are part of flying, dude. You know, and some people say, "Oh, well, yeah, I hardly ever crash, whatever." Like Carlos is one of those, that prick. So he's always saying, "Oh yeah, just fly," you know. I'll come back and land. He has plenty of videos where he comes back and he lands great, lands on the pad, all that crap. But see, I never called my landing pad a landing pad. For years, I've been calling it a takeoff pad because I seldom ever land back on it. But I take off of it just fine. I'm telling you, TJ. Oh, let me do this for you, TJ. I just noticed. Now I got YouTube chat up. You now have some blue jeans. Howie needs some blue jeans too. Let me take care of that. And where's that other guy that was up there? Let me back up a little. Oh, the watcher had already got blue jeans. Oh, he told me. I have a short memory. I have a good memory, but it's just short time. Sometimes I have to dust off the files, you know. Gee, really, Dana? I hit myself in the back with a 5 inch, and that shit hurt. Um, well, you just drop the throttle. Gravity helps takes care of the landing part, Bob. I'll tell you this. A 5 inch to me is can be easier to fly. You just need a little bit more room. That's all. Hey Susan, how are you? Things must be dry out there in the YouTube world. I'm feeling pretty good, Susan. Thank you. Better than earlier today. Let's just put it that way. I've taken care of Susan's blue jeans. Thank you. I gotta fix my 5, Dano, and I need to fix the Center Pro too. And actually, what's his name? Al Diaz sent me a Turtle V2 that I haven't gotten around to putting in my Center Pro. So that's my next project is to do that because the camera the bird itself flies fine. I just have no FPV and the HD part. The front end, the camera, FPV camera, and the HD camera onboard DVR doesn't work. It doesn't even power up. So the front section is dead. It still flies. It's just got no picture. I can't fly it unless I wanted to fly at a line of sight. And who wants to do that? That's like no. That's just like horrible. First of all, it's too damn small for that. I need a phantom sized bird to fly line of sight. And I don't even want to do that. I want to be in the pilot seat, man. It's all about being in the pilot seat. You know? You know this. That's cool, Dana. Ray FPV is awesome. He's a great guy. He really is. I know I've seen the toad before. I can't do that bird, man. I hate flying line of sight. I gotta tell you, man. I've never uh the only bird I really had fun with flying line of sight was it was about the size of a phantom. It was called the Warrior. It was made by ProMark. But it was big. You could see it big, you know? So you could kind of see what was going on, you know? But the little fast acrobatic, even if they're not in acro mode, even if they're in stabilized mode, they get 50 feet away and they're freaking tiny, man. But if you're FPV, you don't see their size. You don't know how big they are. All you see is the view from the cockpit. And then they can be just as big as a big bird, you know. The wind might affect them a little bit. But in some ways, I mean, I don't know. The smaller birds, as long as the motors are strong enough, you got strong enough battery, the wind doesn't catch them as much as a bigger bird. So I don't know. There's a lot of, what's the word? I'm looking for a word and I can't think of what it is. Variables. A lot of variables in there. And all has to do with strength of the battery, strength of the motors, weight, how much wind resistance it has, a whole bunch of variables. Hey, Nameless, how are you, brother? What the fuck, Mike? How are you? And give you some blue jeans, man. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. Oh, Brando's. There's another one. So, are you all about doing? So, do you fly? You Brando's. So, censored. What's censored? So, Brando. So that. So does that mean you fly brand? I mean, when I hear the word Brando, I think about people flying brand new buildings that are still just skeletons. That's not occupied yet. Oh, that's cool, Birdman. It kind of got to look like them, though. I don't know. I like to have an aggressive name, though. You know, hey, Birdman, there was a game years ago. It was called Air Warrior, and all you did was fly World War II planes. So you could fly Wildcat, you could fly a Spitfire, you could fly a Corsair, you could fly the Japanese planes. It was pretty cool. It was a simulator, but a bunch of people. It was an online game, so you could fly with other people, and you did dogfights with each other. But all the planes had different characteristics. You know, like the Corsair, it was a very heavy plane. It was heavily armored and didn't turn with the crowd. But it was fast. It had a big ass motor in it. And you just had to be aware of the energy you had built up. So the classic tactic for the Corsair was what they called the boom and zoom. You'd be at a high altitude and then you dive in on whoever you want to attack or whatever. And in the course of that dive, your plane is building up momentum. And so you have plenty of energy to counteract the weight. Yeah, it took you a little bit to pull up, but you just had to use the energy you had. So it could damn sure kill some Zeros. But if you got into a turning war with them, you're going to lose. So you just had to understand the capabilities of your aircraft and thus the boom and zoom. So you dive in, try and get some hits on it, and then pull back up and go off back off into wild blue yonder. You didn't ever try and turn with them. Ever. I don't know. I can't think of what the Sea Fury was, Birdman. Um, the Corsair was a gull wing fighter, and it was used mainly in the Pacific. It would launch off Corsair. That's what the what was that movie with? Um, Not Paul Hogan. That was Crocodile Dundee, but the guy from Black Sheep Squadron. That's what they flew. They flew the Corsair. Um, what the hell was his name? Something Hogan. He was in the old movie, old series, Hogan's Heroes. He was in Hogan's Heroes. Flying a Hawker. I don't ever remember flying a Sea Fury, at least in Air Warrior. But the name Hawker, the name Sea Fury is not familiar to me, but Hawker definitely is. Dude, I'm a warbird aficionado, if you will. I'm certainly not as well versed as them in them as many. But I've flown a bunch of small planes. Yeah, I don't know if bunch is the right term to say. I have many hours in a small plane. That's a better way to put it. Mainly in a Cessna 172. But myself and my mentor, and he knew I had a natural ability to fly. We used to go flying every weekend, all the time. So we'd rent a plane from the airport he knew and everybody knew him at, and we'd fly over to the west coast of Florida, have breakfast, and then just fly back. It was awesome. Had a great time always. We flew some other planes, but the Cessna 172, they always flew crooked because somebody had hit a buzzard with it one time. But you adjusted for that, and it was fun. You just go out and fly, and I did most of the flying. Larry just wanted somebody to come along and be his autopilot, I guess, because he was too lazy to fly. I guess he'd been there, done that. He just wanted company. Rigger, how are you, brother? Good to see you, man. I've been thinking about that a lot, Jack Rabbit. And I really want to do that again. I just haven't been up to it, man. Somebody told me that the other day. Or maybe you just left a comment on one of my videos, but the live flies, and must point out that rigor mortis that just commented above has joined me on a few of my live flies. And I don't know what it was. It was just, to me, the live flies were so badass because there's people from all over the continent that were flying with me. Hell, I mean, like Rigor's out in Rigor Morris is out in British Columbia. He was flying with me. Carlos and Bob were both in New York. They were flying with me. What's her name? It's gonna piss me off now because I can't think of her name. She's in the United Kingdom. What the heck is her name? That's pissing me off. Hey, Jim, how are you? I need to take care of you too. I'm just trying to fill a little hole there, Jim. That's awesome, man. I'm loving that you love your new place, man. We're gonna have to come up with a live fly, okay, soon. Once you get settled in and whatever, whether it's this weekend and next weekend, I'd love to do that. Maybe get Bob Drone Days. Oh, Aggie, thank you, Drone Days. Thank you very much. I was having a brain fart and I couldn't think of her name. Yeah, they really had you guys walk down big time over there. And I know Rigger, they walked, the Canadians been walked down a lot too. Australia's been locked down like crazy. Certain states in the United States have been locked down like crazy. I've never felt like that in Florida. Florida has always bucked the isolation lockdown thing. But we have fresh air and sunshine. I mean, to me, it's crazy that it's not a disease that really goes through the outside where there's sun and shit like that. It's inside. And I guess I get it with the big businesses that have all these office buildings where everybody's so close. You're outside in the sunshine. Don't have a mask on. No way. That's ridiculous. Not unless somebody's cutting the grass and there's like dust particles flying everywhere. I guess that kind of makes sense, but nah. Otherwise, nah. Ain't no way I'm wearing a mask outside. Hey, John Psyche, how are you? How are you, Charlie? Why don't you come in for a minute? All right, now I gotta read back in the chat to see what Birdman thought would turn a few heads. I'm too lazy to do that. Hey, Danny, how are you? I mean, I heard from some of the people in the other states, and I'm like, what the hell, man? I'd be going crazy. And I kind of hibernate here in my over the last 4 months. I don't get out much. I feel like that guy from Armageddon, Professor Oaken. Oh, they don't let me out much. But I mean, That's what they were doing to people in California and New York and places. They were just locking. Oh, you can't. Doing the same to them in Australia. Doing it to them in Scotland or Australia. I mean, Australia and England and all that. There's some chick from the UK, and her dad died in the hospital because they were so locked down. She couldn't go see her dad when her dad was dying. That's horrible. I mean, that's just inhumane in my thing. Well, I got to have a good feed for that, Ritter. Robbie D. Locke, you have blue jeans already. I don't even know who you are. Did you change? You must have changed your name because I kind of remember Robbie. Oh no, Europe, as far as lockdowns went, really strict for a while. But they've eased up a lot more than Australia has. Australia's been like Hitler shit, man. I mean, that's just like crazy. And I guess I get the initial fear of it, I guess. But all along I've said this all along. You can run, but you can't hide. And hiding inside a house only means that you're concentrating shit closer. I don't know. I just I'm like, you need to catch it. Hey rat, how are you, brother? You just need to catch it and get over it. And your body's immune system will help. If it doesn't, then you die, and then you ain't got to worry about it. I don't know. I mean, I get the idea that you're worried about ICUs filling up and all that. But then in the end, so many of them ended up concentrating people in places where they were actually more likely to get it. They weren't in the fresh air and sunshine. And vitamin D, by the way, is a known fighter of COVID. But they were locked down in a house where they weren't getting any vitamin D from the sun. So I don't know. They all talk about following the science, but they never followed all of the science in my book. Okay, that's just my personal feeling. I'm no scientist, but I'm no dumb bunny either. And I read a lot of stuff, and a lot of it makes sense. So this is for Fauci. That's a Fauci moment right there, because I hate that prick. He sucks. He's an arrogant, narcissistic asshole. And he thinks he knows what's best for everybody, and I don't think he does. So now I've said my political moment. I've just had my bowel movement politically for the moment. So that's what it is. So how are you doing, Rat? Yeah, I know. A lot of people did, Allie, and I'm sorry about that. But I don't know how old they were, but what I find weird is that for like a year, you never heard of anybody dying from the flu. And I don't know, in the back of my head, as sick as it may sound, I really feel that a lot of this was here in the US, we call it the deep state, call it the global state, if you will. But they were using COVID as a means to control people. So maybe that's a conspiracy theory, but there's a lot of things that lean in that direction. Not saying it's definitive, not saying that, but there's certainly been governors in the United States, mayors in certain cities or whatever, that have used it as a method to control the people. And I still think that keeping people locked up in their homes out of the fresh air contributed to much of the deaths and stuff that happened. Just saying. Otherwise, they might have just gotten a sinus infection from the pollen in the air. But they have gotten some good vitamin D, you know what I mean? That's all. And that, yeah, Allie, and that's it. I mean, you just keep on. We're all going to lose people. Most of the older people I know I've lost. You know, my older brother is still with me. Um, you're not that old. You're not near as old as I am, but still, I my dad, my mom are gone. My younger brother is gone, but it wasn't COVID. They died for other reasons. So people die. That's just what they do. It sucks. Who knows if it sucks for them? It sucks for the people they leave behind. The person that dies, they moved on to a different plane, a different place, if you will. I'm not going to call it heaven. I mean, I guess that's what it is. I have a broad feeling in this. I mean, I'm a huge Hobbit, Lord of the Rings fan, you know, and I see Gandalf and the one little Hobbit, you know, I don't want to die, whatever. It's like, no, when you die, you just pass on to green pastures and white shores. Um, and that's a cool way to be, you know? Yeah, see, Allie, 80 and 90 years old. That's freaking old. Okay, I am 62. I did not, at 60, I did not expect to make 62. I really thought I was going to be gone before then. I have seen numerous people that I loved that were in their 70s, their 80s, and their 90s pass away due for whatever reason. whether it was a heart attack, stroke, car accident, because usually when they get to be that age, they can't drive worth a crap. And then just suddenly they're gone. So you can't blame it on COVID. It could be the flu, it can be pneumonia, it can be a million different things. But every one of the four people you just mentioned, yes, they were at high risk of death from COVID, but they were also at a high risk of dying from the flu, from pneumonia, or whatever other cold came around. So this is where I think it got all convoluted, and where lockdowns came into and all that. Do I sound insensitive when I'm saying that? I don't think so. It's just logical thinking. We all gotta go. 3 weeks ago I was ready to die. You know. Um. Okay, this is it. I just needed to die now. But for some reason, my body wasn't willing to let me do that. I don't know. I even I even tortured my body so that maybe it would just give up. But it didn't. So here I am, still hanging in there, still vertical, as I always say to you, Allie. Um, so I'm still vertical, but I have a better outlook on life. Dude, I did the GoFundMe thing, and I felt like such a maggot actually when I started it. But I didn't know what else to do. I was at the end of my rope. I was ready to tie myself on the end of a rope. But the response I got just gave me a whole new outlook on life. And so then I decided I had to keep going because it had to. So anyway, I'm about out of gas, man. Y'all, let's see, how long has this been? I've been on for over an hour. I think that's long enough. No one else has popped in, even though I put up some links. Yeah, I know, Allie. I guess it was my time. I thought it was my time a few times. I actually felt a little rough today a few times. Hey, Bob.
Ed, I came to have a beer with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me fix this. You're doing good. I gotta remember how to do this shit. All right.
So, what just drove by?
I don't know. It's the window picks all that up. I'm lucky. Pretty soon I gotta shut the window. It's starting to get cold up here. All the leaves are falling.
What do you mean cold?
Well, I mean it dips down in the 50s at night,
Oh, okay.
but it's not
Yeah,
gonna be much.
let's see. I'm reading it's 75 outside and 87 in the house. So, Bob, he's not
What is it
going to do
now?
that, Jack Rabbit. It's too dark outside.
60 degrees right now. It's pretty nice.
50?
60. 60.
Oh, 60. No, I mean, actually, before I started the stream, I went and outside and hung with a cat for a few minutes, and it felt quite nice outside. It's way hotter in here than it is out there. But it was fun. Hey, Minnesota Paul. Now I know it's cold where your ass is at.
Yeah, I gotta get up there
Minnesota,
pretty soon
man. I
before all the leaves come down.
I mean, I guess you get used to that crap, but Minnesota. Everything I've heard about Minnesota means it's cold as shit.
It is.
Michigan's the same way. Hell, where you're at, Bob, ain't much different either. But I think it's colder, gets colder in Minnesota than it does in New York.
A lot colder. Because they got people that used to own our company used to come from Minnesota. And it'd be like about 10, 20 degrees out. And they'd be saying, oh, it's so nice here. Minnesota gets really cold. They got that falls up there, International Falls. I think on Bullwinkle, that's where they came up with Frostbite Falls. That's Minnesota Fall.
Bullwinkle
You probably
wasn't in
know.
Minnesota. Where was Bullwinkle at?
Frostbite Falls, I think, was Minnesota's International Falls.
I always thought Bullwinkle was in like Canada or something.
No, he was in the USA, but I mean, we're pretty close. We're brothers, huh, Rigger? And thanks, Watcher.
See,
Always drink
Rigger,
water.
I could deal with 50. I just put on a coat or something. It's easier to put clothes on to warm up than it is to take cool clothes off to cool off.
Minnesota's saying it was Colorado, but they had a place called Frostbite Falls.
Bullwinkle was in Colorado. Are you
I
sure
think he was
about
in
that,
Minnesota
Paul?
because he was
Where
from
do you get
Frostbite
the
Falls.
idea it was in Colorado? You need to explain yourself.
Yeah, because
Colorado.
DW went to Colorado last year, and on his videos, it didn't look very cold at all there.
Yeah, but did you see Bullwinkle there?
I think he's from. There is a place called International Falls, I think is the name, and I think that's Frostbite Falls. Just my opinion. You kind of have to be my age to know about Bullwinkle, you know.
Well, I'm not that too different in age from you, but I don't remember any of that. I certainly never remember Bullwinkle being in freaking Colorado. That's all I got to say.
No, I think it was Frostbite Falls. Musavania is a fictional island woods
All right,
along the Canada and United States
Minnesota, Paul,
border.
Pennsylvania, if it's along Canada border now, that makes more sense than Colorado. I can buy that.
Well, Minnesota's on the border too.
So I mean, didn't so correct me. Yes, Minnesota is. Colorado isn't. But okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Dudley Do Right and Bullwinkle have interaction at times?
No,
Really?
no, two different shows.
I know there were two different shows, but I thought it was a little mixed thing at one point.
Nah, I never remember that. I could be
So
wrong.
it was so Dudley Do Right was just. So who was Boris?
I think
Remember Boris and Natasha?
that was Bullwinkle.
Was that Dudley Do Right or was that
No.
Bullwinkle?
No, that was Bullwinkle. Dudley Do-Light was Snidely Whiplash.
He was who?
Snidely Whiplash. He tied the girl to the train tracks.
Okay. No, I
And he
remember
was in love with his
Snidely.
horse.
And it okay. Well, I'm getting it all confused now because now I'm mixing up with Underdog and Penelope Pit Stop.
That was
always
Wacky
get
Races.
tied on the railroad tracks. Now, who was tying Penelope Pit Stop up on the railroad track?
No, that was Wacky Racers. He used to tie, I think his name was Mel. Or was Mel the name of the horse? No, Mel was the name of the horse. He would tie up the colonel's daughter. Rigger's on this. He said Snidely was awesome. But Natasha, well, that was from Bullwinkle.
I had somebody that I worked with years ago, and he did the Snidely Whiplash mustache. I mean, he waxed it and everything. It curled up like this, you know. And I used to always call him Snidely.
Minnesota Paul, Fractured Fairy Tales.
I remember Fractured Fairy Tales.
That was the best.
Now, Fractured Fairy Tales. Well, okay, so in Fractured Fairy Tales, that was kind of like a hodgepodge of different cartoons, from what I recall. And one of them was the white dog that reminds me
That's
of
what Rigger was
Brian.
saying.
Huh?
That was Peabody and Sherman.
Yes. Yeah.
On the Wayback Machine.
Yes. Yes.
He used to say every dog should have a boy.
And okay, so Simon was the dog, right?
Sherman was the boy.
Sherman was the dog.
Peabody was the dog.
Who?
Peabody. Mr. Peabody.
Oh, you're right. That's right. Damn it. Okay. All right. So what's the white dog on? The more recent cartoon.
Brian. Brian on Family Guy.
Yes, Brian on Family Guy.
I like Brian. He's a best part of the show.
I know. That's what I mean. So
he's the most intelligent one in the family.
I'm telling you, Brian is a remade Sherman. That's all I'm saying.
No, because Sherman was the boy.
See, both dogs, and they were both white, by the way. Not that had anything to do with it. They just looked similar, but
everybody had glasses.
They were both intelligent dogs.
Right.
You know, they
Peabody,
were smart, and they actually seemed smarter many times than their counterpart humans, which may also be rather accurate. Isn't that funny how that works? Sam Squat. See, that must have been one particular episode where they called him Sam Squat, but I never really watched Rick and Morty. I can't really remember Rick and Morty much.
No, because my kid was too old for that.
Really way back.
No,
I remember,
Rick and Morty.
I don't know who it was, but it was some cartoon, and it was two cartoon characters, and you couldn't really tell what kind of animal or whatever they were, but they had human parents. I think that was Rick and Morty, and they were like weird looking critters, but their parents were human. And there was one episode, man, I don't know, but mom was looking pretty hot. And I'm like, I can't believe this is a cartoon. It seems way too sexual for me, you know? So I don't know. So how's that beer doing? We smoking one or what?
I might have to get another beer real soon, but you know what I used to like when my daughter was younger, but I kind of like to watch it too, even though I was older. Was I knew the name was 5 seconds ago. Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, it was
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy is the one
That
I'm
was
thinking
great.
of. The mother was doing this breastfeeding thing.
Oh, maybe
That
because they put on some strange stuff.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy is the one I'm thinking of. I mischaracterized it before. Ren and Stimpy is it. So thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, I
But I
used to
mean,
love it.
the kids were like one looked like dog like, and the other one was like cat like. They weren't real kids.
I don't know.
You
Does
don't
sound like Ren and
remember the
Stimpy
show
though.
at all?
Sounds like Ren and Stimpy, but there wasn't really that many people in that show. Are you
Oh
talking about when we
Lord.
were young?
Animaniacs was the hidden adult humor that kids wouldn't understand. Well, I bet they understand it a lot more now these days, Paul. The way
Hey,
kids are connected to frickin' everything.
hey Ed,
Yeah.
the Watcher. He just asked you if you can say "Oh Wilbur" one time.
Oh, Wilbur! I do a horrible imitation. I don't, you know, wait, 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 I'm mixing up Wilbur with another horse character now. Uh, Watcher. Who was Wilbur on?
Mr. Ed.
Ah, okay.
That was a guy that used to use that
I was
personality.
thinking it was a horse's name for some reason, but you're right. Wilbur was the human. Mr. Ed was the All right, let me see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna do this. Uno momento, por favor. This is just for the watcher. Um,
Oh, I know what you mean.
Drone Psyche made this for me. Let's see if I can find the right screen. That one will work. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Ed used to wear glasses like you. It might be Birdman. I remember that story, but I can't remember the pig's name.
I can't see what's going on in the chat now, so I have to just wait. Okay. So Drone Psyche did this for me. Charlie. He didn't do it for me. He did it for to make fun of me. But I'm used to that. So that's cool. And I don't mind
What
sharing it either because it came out good. If I can just
what else? What
find
else
where
was
the
there to
hell
do?
it is. Okay, it should be in my documents. Where the hell is my document?
That doesn't sound good, Birdman.
So what's Birdman talking about?
He used to have a pet pig that would come and pee on his foot.
What did pet pig do?
Pee on his foot.
Why is a pet pig in his freaking house?
Because it was a pet, I guess.
And the pig must feel pretty good about him if he's pissing on his foot.
No, I think it's his wife's in-laws said, "Oh, well, he must like you." It wasn't his pig; it was their pig. Yeah, I don't know if he liked you or not. That's pretty funny, though. Oh, there's Mr. Ed Wilbur.
Wilbur. Oh, that's how he did it. I do a better impression now. Wilbur.
That's sounding better, yeah.
That was better than the first time I did it.
Maybe you should watch a couple reruns.
Yeah, well, I gotta find them first. All right, so he actually did two. Let me see if I can find the other one. I should get to it quicker this time. Only problem is I don't remember what the last one I did was. I think that's the first one he did.
Yeah, I like the other one better.
No, the other one is definitely better. I need to delete that other one. Okay, let me try this one. Let's see. I saw another one while I was in there. Um, well, you might have.
Yeah, I don't know about those movies. I didn't even know there was a movie about Charlotte's Web. They read it to us in Sunday school. It took like a couple months or more for them to read it. That was a thick book.
No, I don't have any pictures of that in his prime, okay, Walter?
Well, you got that one with those two cousins.
Oh, no, I was far more in my prime then. That was like 30 years ago, dude. Let's see. I know exactly what year that was 1989.
You're in your mid 30s, late 30s.
You're talking about the one with the three chicks and the
Yeah,
sailboat?
yeah.
Yeah, that was I remember that year very well because I actually got a DUI on the way back from that trip. And it wasn't because I was just falling asleep while I was driving home. I'd actually taken a nap and slept for a while before I started driving. And
That
but
sucks, man.
it was a long drive and I fell asleep and not wanting to pollute the river. Had a bunch of empty beer cans in the van. Well, of course, the cops found all that and assumed I'd been drinking them all. So, yeah, it was time for an alcohol test. But I failed it. So, oh well.
Sorry to hear that, Birdman.
I guess it was for the best. I got to.
I collected quite a few of them. In fact, I shouldn't brag about it, but I got two of them in 10 days.
All right. Yeah, that's certainly nothing to brag about.
Is that Sean? I think maybe.
Oh, you bitch. Cut, bitch.
The clown makes me think of a rat. Oh, it is rat.
Yeah, it is me.
Well,
What are you doing?
I could only see a little faint.
Oh
speck.
yeah, I was
When I started
fucking with the
looking at the clown,
transition.
I'm thinking, clown. Doesn't he use that for his like
I was just
icon?
like,
Yeah, that's it.
I
I'm looking for
was
your
messing
icon.
with it.
You did. How's it going tonight? Speaking of
Not too
Colorado,
bad. Yeah,
that's
it's
a lot,
been
right?
cold and snowing all day.
Really?
Been snowing here on and off all day. It don't stick. It's too warm still, but it's snowing.
But that's not where Bullwinkle came from.
No, Bullwinkle's from Canada.
I think Minnesota, but right like what's Minnesota Paul said on the border.
Yeah, they were Canucks.
But they said Frostbite Falls, and there's a big fall up there, and that's way north.
It's hard to tell. Those cartoons were made to freaking. They were using names from everything.
All right, so
Hey, John from
like-
Look at this prick. What are you doing, Ed?
nothing. I would like everybody to wish Rat,
Oh lordy.
aka Frank, a happy birthday, which he's
Well,
having
thank you,
last
thank
you.
birthday. So happy
How old are you?
birthday, Frank.
I'm thinking under 40.
I'm 46.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
moving.
you're still young compared to us old pricks.
Yeah, I'm definitely younger. Don't feel younger.
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Hey, Young Lemon, how are you?
Hey, Papa Chat here.
The thing is when I look back, 46 wasn't my best years, but it was damn sure better than the ones that came after them. I'll tell you that much.
46
Yeah, I
was
mean,
good.
we all had better years when we were younger because, for one thing, our bodies were able to take the abuse better. I mean, think about it, back when you were 25, well, shit, 15 to 35, your body could handle the abuse a lot better than it can after that point in time.
I did good between 45 and
sprain
50.
a muscle, you pull an arm, whatever. It just takes longer for the shit to heal up, you know what I mean? So
Yes, it does.
I mean that's just why it's always better. But really, I didn't really feel the degradation in my physical ability was really exponential between 60 and 62. It's just like I went freaking downhill fast, man. It was bad.
Yeah, I did good around 45.
There are things you can do to ward that off, I suppose, but I didn't know what they were at the time. Now I'm just a broke down old bastard. But
You're still there. You got her. Just enjoy the last few years.
Who knows? I've been thinking about getting that balance of nature shit. Maybe it'll be a miracle cure for me. I just to get out there and do stuff. But dude, I went to do a service call today, and It wasn't even a service call for the company. It was just for a friend. And I just had to take 4 screws out of a panel cover to take the cover off, do some voltage check.
Area rigger.
And man, it was killing me. It really was.
Dang, Ed, take your time. Make sure you eat your meat taters.
You know, people overlook it, but walking is really good for you.
Yep.
Low impact, low energy. but it
Dude,
builds
okay.
up.
Listen,
The human was designed to walk.
I'm just saying, okay, here's the deal with all that. People were giving me crap. Carlos was giving me crap. Oh man, you need to eat. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to slow
You
down
do.
smoking.
And you probably eat like a machine, like I do, all day, every day.
No, he
Get
doesn't.
sick of eating. Oh, and eat some food.
Dude, I drink a beer and eat food.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
you know
even.
why? I'll tell you why. Because when this shit happened, I lost my sense of taste. Nothing tastes. It's just like a mechanical function to me. Nothing tastes. I mean, I can throw seasoning and spices at it, but it's like I'd rather have a hydraulic sandwich, beer than this food. I used to like food, but when it doesn't taste good, you don't go through the work to make it. Does that make any sense?
I understand it.
Yeah,
I
it's just
understand.
messed up. I don't know. It just I don't know. It messed me up. It did. I mean, and I don't mean to whine and cry about it because I know there's a lot more people out there that are more screwed up than me. But I'm not used to being screwed up like this.
Yeah.
In other words, like my fingers, when I do this, I can feel it, but they're numb. They're numb, and I noticed it today when I was taking the screws out of the control panel off the instant hot water heater, and I'd try and hold the screws, and I was about ready to drop the damn thing, just because I can't feel shit. I can
Uh-oh.
feel a little bit. I mean, they're not completely numb.
Yeah.
There's a lack of mobility, and the friend of mine who had gone check out the water heater says, "You want me to get you a chair or whatever?" I mean, I could stand up. I kept saying, "No, I don't need a chair. I'm not that much of a freaking invalid." But it wore me out. It literally wore me out. Well, I'd already been to Walmart. That's enough to wear you out right there. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just it's weird being like this. I don't like it. I can't imagine. I've thought about going to work and back to work for my old boss a number of times. He wants me to, but I just know I'm not capable. I can't do it. No way. No way.
Yeah. If you know you can't do it, don't do it, then you'll just get hurt. If you do it, you'll end up getting hurt, and there's no reason
I
for
know.
that.
That's what the thing. Like I fall off a damn ladder or
Yeah.
something like that. 'Cause balance sucks. My balance really sucks.
And you're old enough to collect.
But I mean, if I could be, I mean, I feel capable to go to a job and give technical advice. But I can't do any hands-on. So. And that's what somebody was telling me the other day. They were saying, like, "Oh, dude, you just need to go work for a different company and more people so you can be a technical advisor.
Yeah, but
And then another guy was telling somebody that's worked with me in the past, he says, he told me, he goes, dude, you have so much knowledge. You taught me so much shit. You should just be an instructor somewhere. You should not be doing physical labor.
be a consultant.
And at 62, I'm not agreeing with that.
Well, brother, I like to say is you need to
There's
eat
this one
food.
guy-
Without eating food, you're not going to last long. Trust me.
Well, that's true. I need to.
No shit don't
I
taste
do
well. You got to
not.
find something.
I
gotta
do
find
not
something.
remember that, the Walter. Well, I've applied for disability, but who knows? Fly drones for Florida Power. We'll have to get to one of those separate unlimited burial call. Hi, it's John. Thanks for dropping in. No, Allie, I get you with Charlotte's Web and Wilbur. I don't remember Wilbur being left behind. Watership Down was a horrible. I never saw the movie. I read the book, I think.
No, I
Damn,
think
FPV, how are you?
Did
Yeah.
Charlotte get left behind? I thought
I don't remember any of that.
either that or the pig ate too much to get back. Yeah, that was like 40 years ago. No,
Damn.
more than that. 50 years ago.
That's crazy.
Phantom, you kind of disappeared off the feed for a while. I forgot about you, man, and then I saw you recently. Phantom is a flying fool, or at least he was for a while.
Flying fool. I was a flying fool.
Dude, he did one video where he's flying through this pine forest that looks like a pine where they're farming pine. Rows of pine trees. And he is zipping through these rows of pine trees at like, I don't know, 120 miles an hour. He is hauling ass. He was ripping it. He was flying faster than I would have ever flown through there. I'd have flown through there at half speed and still been terrified. Let's see, I look, you know, when I say shit like that to you, Rat, I always take a grain of salt because I see the flying you do and where you fly, and I'm like, holy shit, I'd never have the balls to do that either. You obviously have. Well, I know you're a Crossfire dude, and I think that's what Phantom does too.
Oh yeah.
Crossfire. He's on Crossfire.
That's what makes it work.
That's how you get the damn range. But I see, then the FPV. See, the FPV part's always really shaky to me. Don't get me wrong. I've had my fail safes, and I've had fail safes when I thought I should. But when it comes to the VTX or the video, you know, video feed, I've seen so many times when the feed is fine until you turn around and then you can't see shit.
Yeah, that happens. I've had that happen.
You only have two options at that point. Punch it. If you're in doubt, throttle it out and punch up higher to see if you can get signal back, or disarm. That's the only option you got.
You do this.
Sometimes
There
it
you go, Ed.
works. Sometimes it doesn't. That
Me
film
messing
is
around.
badass, dude. Hang on.
Been playing a lot. I realized I could get in if I could get in not too long ago if I found a spot I could get in. So I was like, all right, I know how to get in with the drone. That's easy.
Looks like a good place.
Getting in with the drone is
Yeah,
easy.
this is a very cool spot. It really
Yeah, I
is.
like this spot. I'm glad it's like 10
Well,
minutes, not even
I can
5 minutes from home.
I can see why you like this spot. There's so many possibilities with it.
But you can see where they've been stopping the put all the new plywood down on the bottom.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, stop people from going in it. I was like, oh okay, but there's a door that somebody's kicked open or something. And I was like, well, I know how to get in there with a drone. That's easy. There's big holes in the
Yeah,
roof.
through the roof.
Right through the roof. I was like, whoop. All right.
That's fucking
Go play
badass.
around in here. I was like, getting in ain't no problem with the drone, but if you crash in there, getting it out's pain in the butt.
Yeah,
And,
no doubt. Absolutely.
I don't want to have to kick a door or something open to get my drone back, because then they consider that breaking and entering. But yeah, it looks like they've been in there cleaning out all the hobo stuff.
So I mean, you flown in there a few times. So did you see hobo stuff in there before?
Yeah, there was like chairs and tables. They had it all boarded off up there.
Okay.
They've been building fires in there, and that's what made them start boarding it up. They started building fires in there, and they were like, no, you can't do that.
Well, I mean, somebody owns it, so they're probably worried about liability issues.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's gonna get hurt inside there and whatever.
My damn camera was so blown out, I couldn't see nothing. I was like, God dang it. Now I'm stuck in here.
Trying to get out of the roof.
Yeah, I was like, the GoPro could see, but my FPV was so blown out because it was so bright outside. I was like, God dang it. And I was like, you know what? I can walk through the door. I know I can fly a drone through it. I was like, I'm going out this hole.
They blocked the door. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Someone had kicked it open or something.
So let me ask you this. So, you said the light was so blown up. Why couldn't you just turn that down in your FPV cam?
I just didn't want to. I messed with it.
Because I was going to ask you. First.
Well, it was where I was in the dark. It's where I was in the dark, Ed. The sun was getting down pretty low, so I was in a dark room trying to go out into a bright sky, and it was just like, whoa. I couldn't really. I was like, whoa! It's just a blown out dot. But once I was like, when I come over where the door was, you could actually see where I came out the door. Where is it? Oh. When I was coming up, I was looking around. I was like, wait a minute. I got to look away from the sun. I'm trying to look where the sun is shining the most. That's not going to work. I was like, I came over to the door and was like, oh, yeah, I'm going out the door. It looked blown out, but it was like, I know that hole. I can get out that hole.
I mean,
it wasn't so bad.
That was
the sun, see how it was like, it was straight behind the mountains shining across the clouds, so it was like just blowing out a camera real bad.
God, there is so much cool structure to fly around that place.
Oh yeah, I've been wearing it out, Ed. Trust me, I have been wearing it out. I got batteries charged for tomorrow.
You're going back.
I was messing with my. Yeah, I was messing with my 7-inch today. It's been giving me shit. I think my flight controller's fucked up. I got another one. I need to change it and see if that fixes it.
I'd only get a couple packs and I'd break something. in
Nah,
that place.
not this bad. Not with this drone. This thing's pretty tough. I've touched everything there a few times.
That's pretty funny.
A few times with it.
Well, no,
touched
that's a
everything.
good point, Minnesota Paul just said if you miss the door, you can reach in and grab it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I could walk in and get it, but I was like, I don't like going in a place that ain't all. It was all open, like the doors are all hanging wide open. I could send my 7-inch in one end, come out the other end, and power loop it. And
I
then I went
get
over there one day, and it was all shut up and boarded up and caged up. I'm like, damn it, some dumbass did something stupid.
I know, but they left excuse me, they left the door open. I don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, that door had
Like an
a piece
open
of.
door.
They had a piece of cage across it, and someone's kicked it open. Some heroin addict or cokehead. I'm not gonna kick it open. I'm not. Yeah, I'll fly around the outside, man. There's too much shit on the outside to fly around. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I hear you, man. All right, dude. Well, I've been on for 2 hours, and we're down to 8 souls watching, so I guess I'm gonna bug out. But thanks for popping in, Rat. During the day.
No worries, Ed. It's good to see you're all right. Start eating some damn food.
I just felt like filling up a little vacuum because Mike wasn't on, and felt like chatting with some people and
unpin me, Ed.
Some cool people that I didn't expect, actually.
It's a fun stream, Ed.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I did,
especially once you guys came in. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, sayonara. I'm gonna pack another bowl and catch a buzz offline. If you all care to hang out while that happens, you can. But I'm going to end the broadcast. So later, everybody.
No worries,
Jim Stringing. Let's see. Let me just say hello to a few good people. Birdman. Bob Casey, who is just coming now, for quad's sake. You're a day late and $1 short, Bob Casey. I'm just getting ready to end it. Allie, Unlimited Vertical, Sean, Phantom FPV, Birdman, Jim Strunning. Who else we got? Allie French, that's who I meant to say. I couldn't think of her last name. Watcher. Who else we got? Morga from out in British Columbia. I don't know where the hell Jim Stringing is. I think Birdman's in South Carolina or something. I have no idea where the Watcher is. Allie French, she's over in the UK. During day Bob, who's in the stream at this time. Who else we got? I think I already mentioned Sean. I mentioned most
Minnesota Paul.
Minnesota Paul. Sorry, Minnesota Paul. I must just get there. You are. I'll get past you. The View Chaser, Danny. My freaking Rican.
Jim from Above and Beyond Drones.
Oh yes, he did make a quick appearance. He did. Thank you for that, Bob. Sam Squatch FPV. I've seen him before. I'm not sure.
He's been on here a few times.
But I just gave him some genes. Not that it'll be anytime soon before he notices them.
Charlie was here.
Who?
Charlie.
Psyche? Yes. Drone Psyche. Drone Psyche did manage to show up. That's right. Let's see. All right, I'm done looking back. I've done names I want to do. This broadcast ended. Thank you all very much. End it.